What's up, everybody? Welcome back to U.S. History class. All right, this video is going to be pretty brief, and I'm just kind of walking you through and giving the guidelines for the creative World War II project. If you chose the second option to do the raft writing, if you're not an artist, you didn't want to do a piece of art or a drawing or poster or anything like that, and you'd rather spend some time actually writing up a creative story, then this video is for you. Normally, I would have explained this really in depth in class, but this year I don't see most of you, so we had done one of these in semester one, but it was an assignment that Miss Wilkins, our student teacher, had gone through and explained. So I'm going to go through and do this one more time really briefly and kind of concisely for you, just so you know all of the basic components of a RAFT writing and what I'll be looking for when I grade you. All right, so you'll open up a fresh Google Doc. You'll put your name up at the top where I have the Mr. Taluki example. Then I want to see the next thing, you'll put an RAFT. RAFT stands for role, audience, format, and topic. I filled it out kind of in an example way for you there, like what it should look like. So for the role, you're going to tell me, who are you in the photograph? You'll have down below. All right. Everybody picks a photograph for their raft writing. So I said soldier looking at the map right there. Then I'm actually going to jump down to the F part next, the format. Usually most people do either a letter or they'll do like a diary entry or a journal writing. You're not limited to those. It could be like a newspaper story. It could be a speech. You can take it in a number of different directions, like a report to a commanding officer, something like that. You can get creative with it and really kind of do any sort of piece of writing that you want to do. But generally, most people either do a letter or like a journal entry. So for my example, I put a personal letter. Then the audience is who would be the target. Like if it's a speech and you're a commanding officer, then your audience would be your men that you're giving the speech to. If it's a newspaper article, well, then it would be the readers of the New York Times or whatever newspaper you're pretending to write for. In my case, it's a personal letter, so I'm saying I'm writing a letter to my wife back home. Now, if you were doing a journal entry or like a diary or something like that, who would be the intended audience? Who's the audience for a personal writing like that, like a journal that you would keep on your own? Your audience would be you. That's your own personal writing for that one. And then the topic, the T, the last one down there, is just a really quick sum up of what you're going to be talking about. So on this one, I put life in the trenches. Now, one thing that if any of you have been paying attention that should jump out to you right away, this is not what American soldiers look like during World War II. And also, they didn't use trenches during World War II. So my example is actually a World War I example. I chose to do that purposely because in the letter that I'll show you below, and I'm going to attach this doc also so that you can take a closer look to it, I don't want you copying my examples. I want you to be creative and come up with your own story. So your photograph should be an American from World War II. Most people pick a soldier, but it doesn't have to be. You could also pick a woman working in a factory at home. You could pick a black soldier that's part of the Tuskegee Airmen that we covered. You could pick somebody working in a factory. I really don't care. It just has to be an American from the World War II era. This photo, if you use this one, I would immediately mark you down for it and no, because America had very different looking helmets in World War II. If you're not sure, if you pick a photograph that you really like, but you're not 100% sure that it's World War II, I would highly encourage you to email it to me, share me a copy of that to me, and then I will, as quickly as I can, respond back and tell you if that photograph would work or if it would not work. And I try to help you out and point you in the right direction so you get something that it would work for this assignment. So again, I chose World War I, but the basic structure and format of a raft writing is the same no matter what topic you choose to do it on. So your photo should be an American from World War II. And then here is my example writing. So like my wife that I'm writing to back home, a fictionalized story that I'm making up, Tara Snelly. And then I go on and start talking about what life is like in the trenches and describe that. And I really kind of use some of the things and descriptors that I had covered in the lectures from way back in quarter one when we were hitting World War I, the trench war. Now mine is only like a paragraph or two long. I just wanted to give you kind of an example. Really, your writing should be basically like 12-point font. And even though I have 11 point right here, but you can do 12-point font. It should be single spaced and roughly about one full page of writing. So typically a good RAFT writing is like a 2-page Google Doc. Your first page is all the formatting stuff, your name, the RAFT, your photograph. Your second page is your actual writing. In my case, it's going to look like a letter. And again, I cut it a little bit short, but it was just because this is just an example one, and I wanted to give you a visual for what your finished product should look like. If you have any questions at this point, or if you're zeroing in on a photograph and you're not sure if it works for World War II or not, contact me and I'm here to help you out. So I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. All right, good luck.